Okay, my stamping friends, time for the third card. This card is made with the Spruced Up bundle, which is made up of it's made with the Spruced Up bundle, which is made with the Spruced Up stamp set and the Spruced Up Outlines dies. And what's so cool about them is when you die cut a tree, you get the center of the tree plus the outline, so it's a bonus. So let me see, I think I kept some samples in here. So, of course not together, but if you could see, when I stamped a tree and then cut it out, I got the tree and then I got this piece. So the tree that stamps out is a little bit smaller. So 2 for the price of 1. I think it's just so much fun. I was so reluctant to try it, and now I can't stop using them. I think they're so cool. All right, so let's look at them. And there are some, not just outlines of trees, but ornaments, and there's just all kinds of fun to be had with this. All right, so what I did to make this card is I started, so here's my final card. So we have some outlines, 2 dark, 1 light, and the 2 here are smaller, and this one's larger. And then I have, oh, look at that. I did it differently that time. Huh, how about that one? The first time I did, they were all large. Go figure, I could never do the same thing twice in a row. And then the others are stamped and pressed out, punched out. So I used 2 of a medium shade of green, 2 of a light green, and then I have a dark green cardstock as well. So whatever brings you happiness may be yours this holiday season. I love when a sentiment can come into the center, the inside of the card. So let's see what's in your kit. I took the liberty of doing some stamping ahead of time so you don't have to watch me. And this one I did all large trees. So go figure. Let's see. And I'm also making use of a tool called adhesive sheets. These are amazing. This is another thing. You think hoarding designer series paper is bad? Hoarding adhesive sheets are really bad. Each sheet is 6 inches by 12 inches. And again, you can't see here on the paper, but you can feel it. It's actually cut 2 inches apart each. So each strip is 2 inches wide and 12 inches long. You don't have to work with that, but for this particular card I did. I cut my strips. I cut a strip 2 inches wide, and then I put one on each piece of colored cardstock that was going to be a tree outline. And then and the cardstock is a little bit bigger just because it's easier to work with it that way. So let me show you what I did. This is not making any sense to tell you. It makes sense to show you. So here's the card. This is the front, and this is on the inside. All right, so why don't we do the inside first and get that out of the way. So you have 2 bigger pieces of vanilla. And what I did is I stamped. This is my new way of opening my cards, my ink pads. You see that? This is pretty good. Some work better than others, but you just, of course, now that I'm telling you what I did, it's not working. That always happens, you know? Did you just see how easily I opened that one? All right. So these are photopolymer. You need to work on a foam pad because there's no give in the ink in the stamp or the block. So just making sure I get good coverage and stamp that pretty straight near the top. There we go. And then I'm going to add a small tree in the lighter green. There are a couple of trees in this stamp set. And there's something on my, no, it must have been on the paper. I'm going to add it just slightly off the cardstock. I don't know, I like the look of that. There, inside is all done. How about that? Here's a spare in case I really mess up. I have to try one more time to open. I'm going to press on either side of the center. Oh, this is too funny. I was demonstrating to my husband and isn't that nutty? Okay, so there's that. Now let's see, I have some of this already done for the front. I just, I wanted to show you. So the front piece, I already stamped the sentiment. I stamped that first to, excuse me, to make sure the trees don't cover up the sentiment. Nothing worse than not being able to get something stamped because there's no room left for it. So that's why I did that. And we just need to add some trees. So like I said, I have 2 large trees, 2 small trees, one each of light and medium. So here are the 2 small trees, and we have the big tree that's in the darker color, so we want it to be in this color. So all we do, the lighter green. Oh, I don't know why it's not working now. But it's so cool when it works. All right, let's take out our pad and put this here. And we're going to die cut it so we don't have to worry about whether it's straight or not, because the die cutting will always make it straight. Here we go, all stamped, and that's the end of our stamping for this card. Okay, so I will close the ink and show you another time how it works. Actually, if you rewind the video, you can go back to the spot where I opened that other ink pad so easily. Okay, so let's die cut this one and then get a dark green outline, which is with this one. So, and this is just left from before. And then, you know, you have all these trees left over that you could use for another project, and I'll show you how in a minute. Okay, so I always go at an angle when I'm using this little guy on a video so that you can see what it looks like start to finish. So, except I always take it off camera. Isn't that silly? You know, I'm not nearsighted anymore. I had cataract surgery a few years ago, but I spent most of my life almost all of my life being extremely nearsighted. And you know, that works better with a die, not without one. So, let me just see. I don't know what I did with my dies. Oh, they're right here. So this will go with a larger die. And just like we did with the snowflake in the other card, place it so it's kind of centered. The stamped image is centered in the middle of the frame of the die. Like I said, the blade, the part that cuts, really has to be just a smidge in from the edges. So there are little tricks. Anyways, this one, if I just center it, it will look fine. And plus, I'm putting this on a background that is the same color as this cardstock, so you especially won't notice the vanilla frame, the extra outline. Does that make sense? Okay, and then just roll it through. I'm trying not to make my camera jump. So here we go. There's the outline, and if you use your little poker from take your pick tool, you can pull out this outline. So there is your tree. Okay? Now, to glue these onto the card, you can use your fine tip glue pen, you can use what do you call it? Regular multi-purpose liquid glue, but I mentioned I'm a klutz with it. So I tried this adhesive paper for the first time, bought it months ago. I think it's been out for a few years, and it is amazing. I don't think I'll ever go back to things that are die cut using anything but these adhesive sheets. So there we go. There's my tree. Let me just run it through the die cutting machine. Oh, I see I have a little dot from that first card. Oh. And look at this. So we have I didn't do that right. This is too funny. Okay, let me take a piece of I didn't do that correctly. Okay, you know what? Let me pause this for a second and go get another piece of cardstock. Okay, let's try that again. That is too funny. Well, that was pretty useless. That really was very funny. And now I don't know what I've done with my die. So let me get this situated, and then the die. Don't know where my die is. It is right here. Okay, so these adhesive sheets, they're basically a layer of adhesive between two wax paper layers. So just pull off one layer of wax paper, and it doesn't matter whether it's the front or the back. I don't even know how to tell which is the front or the back. And so I lifted it up, and when I lift it up, this side is just wax paper, this side is sticky. So I will put this down on my cardstock. So this is wax paper on top, except I've got glue all over my fingers now, but because I touched it. Do not touch the sticky side if you can help it. It's first of all, you take away some of the stick because you had the oil from your fingers, but you really shouldn't do that. All right, let's try that again, and I'm just going to roll it straight this time, which really is easier than doing it on an angle. Whoops, and let's see. Whoops is something you don't want to really hear on a video. And here we go. So this is what's left on the card, which you can discard. That is your adhesive that's left on the frame. I guess if you want to use it, you can just pull it off, but then you'd have a real mess there. And here's the center, and here is the outline, and that's what we really wanted from our card, right? So let me do this, and I'm going to leave it for a moment. I needed to take it out so I can use the die, but I'm not going to glue it yet because I want the stamped trees underneath. So, oh, you know what? I do have enough stamped trees, so I'm just going to go with what I have now, just to shorten the time. So let's figure out where we're going to place them. Remember, this is going to be a dark tree, I have 2 large trees and 2 small trees. Let me clear up my work area a bit. 2 small, 2 medium, 2 large, a medium, and a light green. And let's see. I don't want anything to be like exactly symmetrical. I know some people don't like cards that are askew, but I do. And this will go next. And then this will be on top. Yeah, that'll be good. So on top, next, and next, and then these 2. All right, so I need some of my adhesive of choice, and you all know that it's Stampin' Seal Plus. And of course, I didn't really make a mark or anything, so I have no clue if I really am putting this where I had intended, but this is where it's going now. This will be my next tree. Oh, you know, that might be too far over. Might be close to the edge of the card. So let's just pull it in a bit. Then I had that tree. And I'm leaving a spot at the bottom because I want to add some ribbon. There's a little planning in this card layout. Okay, and that's there. And now this one. Again, you could use the liquid glue and stuff, but I'm going to put it there, a little lower than that tree. If I pull off the wax paper backing, and then carefully peel it away, I'll be left with green cardstock that has adhesive on it. And do not, be very gentle with pulling this off, because you don't want to rip your tree outline when you work so hard to put it together. So put it down and work. I work from the top down, and this you really can't shimmy around. There you go. Then we're going to have it on this piece of cardstock on the front of our card. When I'm putting cardstock down that has a lot of layers on it, I like to make sure I get all 4 sides with glue to keep it real secure, and it is going to stick out a little bit. All right, fold our card front. Finish that. Oh, and put our ribbon on it. So what I'm doing with the ribbon, and there will be ribbon in your kit, is I have one piece going around, so I kind of eyeball it. I eyeball a lot. When I give you instructions for cards, I eyeball it, and then I measure what I've cut after I've eyeballed. That's how I get you the dimensions. Isn't that wild? Okay, and I put it kind of in the center of that gap. Kind of, but not exactly. This ribbon is so pretty. Has a nice glitter to it. And I like it because it's kind of the same width as the outlines there. And then I secure it with tape. Whoops, didn't mean for such a big piece. The only time I won't use tape is if I'm sending this card to a scrapbooker in case they want to put it in their albums, because regular tape is not proper adhesive for a scrapbook. front. Then I took a couple of pieces of ribbon underneath. I just tied them at one time and then spread them apart. So one, can't find that second one. Okay. Clearly my shortcut to do it quickly is not working because the camera is rolling, so I'll do it the slow way, one at a time. And notice how easily this goes. Just tie a knot. Cut off some of those ends so they're not so big. Add some jewels, some of these champagne rhinestones, which you can get if you place for free if you place a $50 order. And I'm going to put one on the top of every stamp tree, a large one. And there we are. 3 very festive cards for the holidays. What do you think? Wasn't that fun? This one is a little bit more fussy, but it is very cool. And here are the cards we made today. Oops. So, hope you had fun. The details of how to order will be in the first comment under my, with the link under the video. If you like this, give me a thumbs up. I hope you'll follow me on my YouTube channel. And that's it. Have a great day. Have a great holiday. Thank you. Bye.